I'm Joseph Browning, and I'm a senior in the landscape architecture program.
I am David Tota, a senior in the landscape architecture department.
I'm Griffin Johnson, and I'm a senior in the University of Kentucky landscape architecture department.
My name is Justin Bombach, and I'm also a senior in the landscape architecture department.
I am Natalie, Carson.
I'm Jillian, Deneroff.
I'm Alexa King, and we are at the University of Kentucky. We study interior design at the School of Interiors, and we're second year.
My name is Brynn, Hawkins.
My name is Lawson, Dyson.
My name is Abigail, Camfield, and we're all second year interior design students at the University of Kentucky.
So I'm Brandy Peacher. I'm the Director of Project Management in the Office of the Mayor in Lexington, Kentucky.
Our instructor, Carolina Sierra, has been the lead landscape architecture faculty on Design Week for the last 4 years at least. And she's identified different spaces in Lexington each year for students to look at from a multidisciplinary approach to how to solve these problems, whether it be in the community or the space just doesn't work.
The project started in the first week of the fall of 2018 semester with a multidisciplinary approach with the UKLA department as well as the interiors department at UK and the architecture department at the University of Kentucky. Really just started with basic analysis and looking at the site and analyzing sort of the greater picture of what we were trying to do. And got the project outline at that point as well, which focused around the new proposed Town Branch Park going in next to Rupp Arena, and how do we connect that back to the city and the neighborhoods surrounding it.
With the Town Branch Park, the trail, everything in downtown, we're thinking big right now, and so sometimes we need to focus in and look at some of the details, and the students' work and the work from your presentations that you gave allowed us to refocus a little bit about how people interact in those spaces, not always just the big picture master planning. So that was nice.
I know during design week we actually went to a street and started interviewing people. We're like, the sidewalk's kind of small, how do you feel about it? And I think that made them happy to see that they were being a part of a design process and getting their voices heard and just out there, so we can maybe do something about it. People really appreciate having their own opinions heard. So
we kept meeting up with interiors throughout the whole semester to kind of get their feedback and help them with their project as they were designing a building that was going to be on a site that we kind of helped them pick or select that they thought was the best for their project. And from there we kind of just kept developing inventory and analysis.
Our professors gave us an existing building downtown. It's the Lex Arcs currently, and we kind of just stripped it back to the studs, and put in our own programming, came up with our own concepts, but definitely focusing on inclusivity and sustainability through all those.
Having that outside opinion that we don't usually get throughout the process, we had multiple design reviews where landscape architecture students would come in and review our projects and give us feedback. I think that was really beneficial and allowed us to kind of see it from an outside eye and see it from an outside perspective to really improve our projects in the end.
Yeah, I think it got us out of our interiors mindset. We like to stay inside, and so it helped us kind of branch out and think about the city in a different way.
Yeah, I think working in such a collaborative environment allowed so many people to be involved, and it really enhanced everyone's excitement about the projects and about future projects of Lexington, which in a sense made an impact on the community because we're all students, we're all living here, and then all of the mentors that we had, all the professionals that came in, we're all part of one community. So making that impact and working together really enhanced our knowledge and enhanced our excitement about what's to come for Lexington in the future. The support received from our mentors was really beneficial throughout the process of the project, specifically our professor, Barb Young. I think she was really invested in each of our individual projects and catered to the needs of what we wanted in our space and didn't just make it what she wanted or just what we wanted. It was really supposed to be inclusive for everyone and allowing us to explore our own creativity and explore our ideas. And I know she pushed me to the next level with my project.
With our interior studio, our professor, Christine Mobley, made it her goal every single day to talk to each student and give them advice and critique and kind of correct their path a little bit before we were moving on to the next part of our project. So that individual attention that we got for 5 or 10 minutes every single studio definitely helped to make sure we were on the right path and not making any uninformed decisions that we might not be aware of.
The main thing that our professors taught us was sustainability is more than picking 5-star or energy appliances, you know, and it's more of living a sustainable life and incorporating that into the building you're living in.
Yeah, it's more than just ADA restrooms, which are very important in a space, but it's providing a space that would be sustainable for future generations and providing a space that, you know, locally sources its materials and does all these things you wouldn't generally think of right away when you think of sustainability, but I think that was a really important thing that they taught us.
The greatest good for the greatest amount of people for the greatest amount of time. How do we do something that's going to span a huge amount of time and still reap a lot of benefits?
Then you start to think about what is that economic development impact. And so it's more than just the design, and I think that's very, very important for young designers to understand that it's not just about the way it looks and the way we experience it on foot, but it's ripple effect, the impact that a project has on a community. And when we talk to council members, the mayor, our Chamber of Commerce, when we're doing projects, we all look at what is that return to our community. And so it's nice to work with the students and see their bigger ideas because they take our blinders off sometimes.
Yes.
And that has been worthwhile from both sides of the table, I think. Students get to experience what it's like to work in a real environment. Working within their community, but we as professionals and as the community get the opportunity to see something new. But how do you measure the impact? I don't know how you measure the impact. You ask me that in 10 years because, I mean honestly, because the work you're doing is not something you will see the community impact in a short time. You will see how that just starts to simmer within the community, and they may take one idea or two ideas and it may come to life over a decade.
So all of our projects through Design Week, we're actually, you know, dreaming big. There's no budget. It's whatever you can dream of and change the mindset of how people live. You know, moving away from single family, single car, single occupancy vehicle, transportation to this whole idea of living in a community and walking, and which is all healthier ways to live. And so how does that a worthy investment for cities?